Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And so I wanted to talk straight with you guys about something I'm going to do this week. And this week is paying homage to the original purpose of this channel that I've done years and years ago. And that's champion for mid-range and budget phones. And so this week, I'm going to seek out some of the top-end budget and mid-range devices and make videos talking about them. Now, I'm not going to go out and buy them or anything like that. That's just going to be like a waste of money to buy a phone and then it just sit around and do nothing. So I'm not going to do that, but I am going to make videos talking about these phones and kind of introducing it to everybody. We've kind of gotten lost in chasing flagship phones, or at least I did. I'll speak for myself. Let me just kind of be straight with that one. I did, in focusing on things such as the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, the iPhone 13, OnePlus. We've been really focused on those phones and talking about them and everything like that. And every now and then I'll make a video about a mid-range device, and I'll see that it'll get a good amount of views. Doing the Pixel 3a with Android 12 beta and seeing, you know, the view count on that really kind of showed me that people still are interested in mid-range devices. There's been this common misconception and like on here on YouTube, that it really it puts people into thinking that flagships is the only road to go to have like the best experience with a smartphone, and that's totally not true at all whatsoever. Anyone can sit there in the comments and try to argue with me about this. You're not going to change my mind. There's a reason why these phones are around. Because believe it or not, if no one really cared about a mid-range phone, if nobody ever really found the value in a mid-range phone, then why is there a bunch of mid-range phones all over the place? You look at Samsung, they have a bunch of them, the A32, the A11, you know, they have all these different mid-range devices to budget devices, and the same goes with OnePlus and even Google Pixel. Hell, even Apple. The iPhone SE is a mid-ranger by Apple standards. There are all types of mid-rangers and budget devices out there because there is a market for them. There's a market. And I really championed for that way back in the day, especially, you know, when reviewing Boost mobile phones and stuff like that. And so this week, I'm going to dedicate this week into focusing on those phones. While everyone else is going over the iPhone 13 videos and kind of, you know, getting all the input, like the advice and all the good stuff out of it, I want to bring mid-range also to the spotlight too, because there is a market for it. So I took this SIM card out of my Pixel 5. Trust me, I really like my Pixel 5, but it's in the drawer. And it's going to stay in the drawer for the rest of this week, okay? For the rest of this week, it's going to stay in the drawer. I am going to be using the Pixel 3a, the very first mid-range release of from Google Pixel, right? So the Pixel 3a. I am using right now also the OnePlus Nord N10 5G Ultra Mega Pro Max Plus Premium Super Saiyan. And to kind of, you know, compare that, because people say, why go mid-range when you can just go with like a 2 or 3 year old flagship device, iPhone XS. And I'll answer that question real quick for a lot of people. Why, you know, people will say, like, you know, just go with the older flagship. Just go with the older flagships. They're not like 2 years old. Excuse my dogs. Like some people will say, go with the older flagship. Don't go with a mid-ranger. Go with the older flagship, because you get a flagship chip. Dogs is barking all over the place. But you get a flagship chip and all that good stuff. And while that is true, there is one hindrance to getting an older flagship, especially on the Android side. iPhones is not really plagued by this too much because a lot of their devices is kept up to date, but at least for a good 5-6 years. But on the Android side of things, that's not the case. And that is exactly what I'm talking about, where older flagships may be good in performance, but will kind of be a hindrance. First of all, is the operating system. Not a lot of OEMs keep their devices up to date, including their flagships. Some of them will go as far as 3 years, like Samsung has promised to do. Google Pixels offer 3 years. But most OEMs and their flagships maybe do one major software update and that's it. So what does the current mid-ranger have over 2-3 year old flagship? Software. And so all the new benefits of the latest version of Android is going to be present in that current new operating system. It will not be handed down to older flagships unless they've been updated to the latest version or latest current version of Android. That's how that goes. And so that's where the mid-ranger kind of beats out the older flagship devices, is software. It's up to date. It's got either today's current version or the previous version of Android, but no far back than that. And of course, with the current processor chip inside that it has, it may not be as powerful as an 800 series chip, but it could be right around where a 3 or 4 year old 800 series chip is as far as performance wise. And so those are something to take in consideration. So for this week, I am going to be talking a lot about mid-range devices. I am going to be talking a lot about budget devices. I'm not going to go out and buy these phones because it's just going to be a waste of money for me to do that, just to do a review on them and then put them in a drawer or do nothing with them. So I'm just going to talk about each one that I find to be interesting and tell you guys about them. So those people who are interested in mid-rangers that seem pretty awesome today, you guys will get videos from me on it. At the same time too, I'll be doing a lot of videos on the Pixel 3a, the OnePlus. It's kind of doing like photos and stuff like that, up-to-date videos, and of course an older flagship, the iPhone XS. This is flagship, so it's kind of in that realm. And I got a missed call. That's funny. Good call. Right. But anyways, yeah, so that's it for right now, guys. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this video. Be on the lookout for more mid-range videos and stuff like that. Yeah. That's it for right now. Peace.